Oh, hi. How are you? This is time number 4 of my head in this box. And I'm gonna read some comments I got this week. Here we go, let's dive right in. Kevin, we had a great time. We love your show and wish you tons of success on tour. You are funny, engaging, and your voice is just gorgeous. Yay, you. Annie. Thanks, Annie. I loved the part at the end where you talk about the good and bad, black and white, etc., all existing together. Would love it if you sent me that little section in writing so I remember what you said exactly. That polarity, yin, yang, this and that, is something I have been thinking, meditating on a lot in the past year. It has inspired some creative work of my own. I loved that part. That it really is all good. The bad makes us feel the good even more deeply. Best wishes for a successful tour, Holly. Yes, I agree with that, Holly. It really is all good. Even the bad, somehow, is good. Kevin, the show was really, really good. I especially liked the... I don't know what that word is. P-A-E-A-N. Pay... Is that fucking Gaelic? What is that? Pay... Somebody tell me what that word is. Pain? Pot... Something. To James Dean. Hope the tour goes amazingly well for you, Barry. Thanks for making me look like a dumbass, Barry. Your big fucking words and shit. No thanks, seriously, I'm glad you liked it. The James Dean section is one of my favorite parts of the show also. Are you going to do all of your vlogs with your shirt off? Jenny, that's my sister's comment. Yes, I am going to do all of the vlogs with my shirt off. How long did it take you to write this beast, Jonathan? You know, the first draft only took me maybe a little over a month, and that's only because let's see, the workshop was in November. I mean, from the very first time I first started writing to when we opened the show was only 3 months, and I know that's ridiculously short for something like this, especially when you consider it's 90 solid minutes of me speaking fairly complex language. But you know, in the past, did I just turn the camera off? No, I didn't. In the past, oh my god, I look fucking awful. So anyway, the past couple of years have I've had a long sequence of really fortunate events to where my career started rolling forward and I got to quit my job, which was a huge... Here's why that's a huge thing, and this is answering this question because it's why all of these events that happened in my life in this past couple of years are what made it possible for me to write this show, because I've often in my life been accused of being lazy or not having a work ethic of any kind. I mean, my whole life, since my very first job that I quit after a month because it sucked. And as I'm getting older, it is true. If my heart is not into something, I can't do it. And I was talking about this with my manager recently, how I'm having like 6 thoughts at once. My personality is like what the fuck am I talking about? It's just like a big me fest. No, so the reason I'm talking about work ethic and getting to quit my job and stuff is because I've got, probably my whole life I'm realizing now as I'm getting older, I've probably had a problem with depression. And I never would have said that in my life because I'm not an unhappy person. I've never been a sad person, and I think very highly of myself. I don't have self-esteem issues or anything, really. However, as I'm learning more about what depression can be, I think I've always had it. I just learned to funnel all of that energy into a creative hole. Whereas I think, I'm just making this shit up, but I often wonder that some people, I think, turn that energy toward themselves, and I think that's when it when depression can be really awful. But I definitely, show some signs of like feeling like I can't face the world sometimes, and that's kind of wrapped up in my creative personality. And I was just thinking very recently, one of the fortunate events that I've had this year is I have a manager now who has organized the shit out of everything and made so much of what's happening in my life possible. I totally could not do it without her because of that whole. There's something in me that's like, I want to do the work that needs to be done, but it like overwhelms my brain, and I just get paralyzed. And I've always been that way, and especially here's where I bring it all around when I had to work full time. Like I couldn't do. I just felt paralyzed, and like a to-do list would just throw me into a panic. And over the years, I've managed to write a lot of music and get stuff done, but I've not really been able to roll a career forward. And it's because of this thing. I think a lot of artists just don't have it in them to get shit done, and I don't. In some respect, because the moment that I started writing the show and I didn't have to go to work, I threw myself into it like a crazy person and wrote the first draft in a month. But not a lazy month, like a obsessed, working nonstop, not sleeping month. So I guess I do have a work ethic, but it's very selective. So over the course of 3 months, I probably put hundreds of hours, like 70 hours a week some weeks. And sometimes that was just, sometimes I just needed to walk around and daydream all day, and then come home and watch YouTube videos and drink a bottle of wine. And I know that probably to a lot of people that sounds like a total waste of time and ridiculous, but it's those sorts of things that allowed my brain to just spill out and create something like this. Alright, I've gone on way too long, so I'm gonna end it right there. Bye.